I don't. I'm like a dad. He don't understand, you know? It's tough love, you know? It's like old school coaching. And they go, come here. And they grab you by the face mask like this. I should get your head and fucking yeah. Dad, it's over. I should help you. Hey, it's BT with Tales from a Gemini. Thank you, Wyatt. It's just me, Wyatt, and my wonderful guests. And you know what? I love all my guests. I love also when they come in studio because it gives a different kind of je ne sais quoi, as I like to say. And also, and people think it's strictly like a motorsports podcast, which is not. I just like inspiring stories, and I love everybody's story because what binds people together to me is a story. It doesn't matter what man, woman, black, white, whatever. It's the story. Everybody can relate because we're all human. And that's what I love about this story. And I have at my disposal, underneath my very nose, I don't realize how the greatness I'm around. And this next guest, who was so nice to me. First time meeting her, I was on her farm and she let me ride her motorcycle. Right then and there, she had my heart when she did that. She didn't even know me. Let me ride her motorcycle on her farm. I was jumping, doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing on somebody else's bike, but she let me do it anyway. And she's also currently the new world record holder for the longest continuous surfing ever at 8 hours. Let's hear it from Miss Lori Keeton. Wyatt, could you give an applause, please, for Lori Keeton, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. No, how you doing, Lori?
I'm doing great.
You know what's great is that we know each other, and the fact that you broke a world record, that to me right there made me go, wow. And while you were breaking that world record on June 8th, it would always be in my mind because that was my birthday.
Right.
And I was babysitting
happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I was babysitting a 6-year-old, and he was kicking me in the extremities while you were breaking the world record. So we were both doing some suffering that day.
That's great.
It's true. But you know what? Before we get into that, I always think no one just starts out, how you guys doing? Nobody starts out breaking the world record or being great. They always lead up to that. So tell me about your life growing up. I know you grew up born and raised Indiana girl.
Yes. I was brought up on a big horse farm. So we showed horses on a national level, competitively, all over the world.
Now, what does that mean? Honestly, showing horse, because I'm kind of a pseudo city boy, city country boy. I'm kind of like in between. I grew up in Oklahoma, and I knew about horses, never liked horses, but I had a lot of land around me. So what is showing horses? What does that mean?
So basically, it consisted of, we had 35 stalls that I cleaned.
Oh, so you smell like horse poop all the time.
All the time. Ugh. There was a ton of work that went with it, but it was rewarding, and we loved, showing horses as a family growing up.
Okay, did you grow up loving it, or did you learn to love it, or you had no choice but to love it? How about that?
I had no choice but to love it.
Well, it's like you don't have to love it. Like it's like you have to do it. You didn't have to love it. You had to do it because that's chores. I mean, my producer Y is 19, right? When he has to do something, it's like because he's a millennial, so it's like I do it because I like it, bro. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, where you had to do it, and whether you liked it or not didn't matter because you had to do it.
Right. There wasn't a lot of option.
Yeah.
My whole family did it, so that's what I was doing. But I did love it. It was fun.
Okay.
There's parts of it that were fun.
Okay.
A lot of work.
What was your favorite part? What was your favorite part?
Definitely showing the horses and just riding them, the time, the bonding with the animals. It was awesome.
Okay.
We trained them. We would raise them up from babies and ride them and break them. So I'd be the first person on their back.
Oh. Now, when you ride, did you put saddles on them or just bareback?
Yep, saddles.
Oh, okay. Okay, so wow, you were good right off the block. Mm-hmm. Now, how old were you when you did this? How old?
I started riding horses by myself when I was 3 years old.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How did you even get up there? Like get up on the horse at 3?
I don't remember. Someone had to put me up there.
So you don't remember at 3, but you remember riding the horses at 3?
I have pictures.
Oh, okay, but you don't remember it.
I don't remember it really.
So your parents let you go out at 3, just have a good time?
Yeah.
Really?
Just turn me loose.
No, are you serious? That's great parenting. That's the parenting we grew up with. Like, hey, good luck. I know you're barely out of the stage of pooping in your pants, but you got a wild horse, and hey, go have fun.
I actually showed at 3 years old.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Honestly, that to me was the incredible part about that is that I've never been, I don't hate animals, but I've never been an animal person, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I've ridden horses once in my life, and that's a scary thing. I mean, as an adult, because I remember the horse took off, and I was like, oh, and I didn't know what to do with the reins. Like I said, I'm kind of a pseudo city country boy, so right. I'm like, so how did you do, like, were you ever afraid of the horse, like seeing a snake and getting spooked and taking off?
Oh, I've hit the ground lots of times.
Really?
Yeah.
How bad did you get hurt?
I mean, the worst is I broke an arm. I had a horse step on my wrist.
What happened? Did you owe him money, and what happened?
No, I just got bucked off, and the horse landed right on my wrist.
Oh.
Shattered it, but it's fine now.
Well, how old were you? How old were you?
Probably about maybe 11.
Wow. And never it never deterred you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you horses, and what else did you do? You had elk also out here, right?
I also had an elk farm. Yes.
What? How elk? Explain that. How did you get into elk?
So my dad actually started out with elk, and it interested me. So I invested and purchased elk also, and had a farm. We had connecting farms side by side.
You and your dad?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
And we have owned 3 world record holders between the two of us.
And that's with the bull? Is it a bull?
Yes. Yeah.
And that, was it the size of the bull or what?
The size of the antlers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, was that conscious, or like I'm gonna make a bull with big antlers, or was that it just happened to be that way?
It was on purpose. So we on purpose bred animals together to get the biggest, if that makes sense. So we chose genetics, to certain cows to breed with certain bulls to produce the largest antlers.
Okay, so kind of like an NFL kind of thing in a way.
Kinda.
Like you were like kind of like a $6 million man thing. You kind of got $6 million man and the Bionic Woman together, and woo.
Right.
Wow. So you got those together and got the largest, and that was the goal. That was the goal.
That was the goal.
And you achieved that goal.
Yes.
Wow. So you guys were mad scientists before mad scientists was I mean, basically, right?
Right.
Before it was cool to be mad scientists, and no one really cared.
Right.
Now, in the end, but did you like end up killing the bull and have it for steaks?
No, we sold those animals.
Okay.
Because that's when you make the most money, is when they're the world's largest.
And you sell them, make it a pretty good price, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I have no idea how that works. That's what I'm asking. So they won for being the largest bull ever, and you're like, all right. And then they go for a really good price. Mm-hmm. You sell them, and they're probably hamburger meat after that, and become hamburger helper.
Or some people will use them for breeding, to breed back to their animals, to try to get the world's largest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like horses. I mean, right. I mean, with thoroughbreds and Secretariat and
champions, you just keep crossing them over, trying to get bigger.
That's right. Okay, so it's like if Michael Jordan bred with who's a great female? Serena Williams. If Michael Jordan and Serena Williams had kids, oh my God, right? That kid would be incredible. So basically, you took the Michael Jordan of the bulls and got it with the Serena Williams, and you had the most incredible bull ever.
Yes.
And then you sold it. And then well, honest, okay.
Yeah.
For that, like, did you have like a heart attachment, like? Oh my God! Like, or is it strictly a business thing?
Strictly business.
So you didn't care? All right, take it easy. And the bull was like, "Yeah, you too." Like that. Really? He looked back.
Peace out.
Yeah. The bull kind of did his hand like, "Yeah, all right." And he was so big, he didn't really care. He gave you one of these, and he loaded him up. Man, time for another one.
One thing that's kind of neat about elk that most people may not know is that they grow their antlers every year. So the male will shed his antlers every year in the spring. So it dissolves kind of like a kid's tooth would dissolve, the root does. And then it literally just falls off. And then it grows back the next year.
Wow, really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that. I'm learning something new every day. That's why I love this show. I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So if somebody asks me about elk, I go, "Oh, did you know?" And so I'll know, all because of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, animal. Now, did you ever do any sports or anything growing up?
Other than showing horses, no.
Did you have time, or did you want to?
There was no time.
Really?
Growing up on a farm, I worked. So spring break for most kids meant they were going on vacation. For me, it meant working on the farm.
Did you feel like you were missing out though?
Not really, because I didn't know any different, to be honest. I mean, now looking back, that's not the. I gave my kids a different childhood, growing up, because I wanted them to be able to experience more and interact with more peers that were local and things like that. My friends basically were at the horse circuit, and if you didn't show horses, I pretty much didn't cross paths much with you.
Wow. Okay. Now, do you feel that it hampered you in some ways growing up? Like looking back at it now, you go, I kind of wish I had a more well-rounded childhood in that sense. Like it's like sometimes with kids in motocross, where they grow up and all they know by the age of 8 or 9, they go, hey, listen, is this what you want to do? Because we're going to mortgage the house, and mom has to go with you because dad has to work 2 jobs, or vice versa.
Right.
So was it like that? And did you look back and go, I kind of wish I would have did this. I kind of wish I would have done gymnastics or something like that.
Not really. So what I'll say about the horses and showing as much as we did and as committed, that's part of what helped me achieve this world record. Meaning that when I love something, I'm all in, 100%. Everything, I give it everything I've got, and that's just kind of how I was brought up. That's how my parents were.
Yeah.
And I think that's helped me to achieve where I'm at today.
Now it's going to sound like transcendental, like hippie stuff, but like, what sign are you? Are you a Gemini? You're a Taurus? What are you?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. What's Capricorn?
January 6th.
I mean, but what is their thing? Like, what's they known for?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I would have picked Taurus the bull because you seem really. I mean, I know a little. I know about you. You're great, but yeah, you're really focused, and you're like I was telling Wyatt, I said, I think she's like an alpha. She's an alpha, where it's like, you're focused on your goal, and you're gonna get it. And damn it, anybody gets in my way, well, sorry for them, but I'm focused. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which is not bad. I mean, honestly, I wish I had that kind of focus. Sometimes I'm all over the place. That's why it's called Tales from a Gemini, because I'm all over the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about this and Elk, and next thing you know, hey, did you ever do gymnastics? You know what I mean? So I'm just like that, but I always want to know the background, because that's the genesis of where you are today and achieving your greatness.
Right.
Now, did you ever think about when you grew up maybe wanting to set a world record or anything, or did you say, I want to make my mark this way in the world? Ever?
No, I hadn't really given it any thought to do the Guinness World Record. We were on a houseboat trip, and it was the 9th day, and everybody was tired. Everybody said, well, we don't want to surf anymore. And I said, I'm never going to say those words. So I got up, we all went out on the boat, and I surfed 4.5 hours straight. Now that currently more than doubled the current Guinness World Record, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
I just did it for fun. I surfed till we ran out of gas, almost out of gas. We stopped, there was a little bit left, and then we went to eat lunch, because it was lunchtime.
Right.
Everybody on my boat fell asleep but the one boat driver. I'm not going to lie, I feel a little guilty for taking all that time for him. It was probably pretty boring with him being the only one awake. but I just wanted to take, no one wanted to surf, so I took it all.
Yeah.
And a couple years later, someone said something to me, and they said, well, that's probably a Guinness World Record. You should check into that. So I did. And once I realized I'd already beat the Guinness World Record, I decided to start training hard and actually make that a goal for me.
Really?
And I wanted to crush it.
Now, what was the inspiration for that, though? I mean, I know you said you liked it and you fell in love, but like, it's nothing better to me personally to find that something you love and go, oh, this is great. That's not food, you know what I mean? Like right now, my thing is Junior Mints. I don't know what it is. I'm on a Junior Mint kick. I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm on. But it's good to find that one thing that, especially later in life, to find that one thing that go, oh, this is what I like. So you found that. But then how did you go from that to just having a good time with it to go to wanting to achieve that record? Even though somebody said that's a world record, I mean, I think most people be like, that's cool, and go on about their life. But how did you go, you know what, I'm going to make it official, make it a world record, and achieve that goal?
Well, I just decided since I'd already doubled it that I should take it more serious and take it to the next level. Not just break it, but crush it. Like I wanted to... I just wanted to make it, set it as high as I could. And I ended up surfing 8 hours, and then the Guinness judge could not go longer than that. So she told me I had to stop, which I was sad about. So I had trained, and up until that point, I had only surfed just a little under 5 hours was my longest surf because of fuel and other restrictions that I'd had. And because of my trainers saying that I should stop and treat it like a marathon. So don't surf all the time that I can. So I held back. So the day of, it was a surprise that when I got to the 8 hours, I wasn't even fatigued. Like I wasn't so my training really paid off, everything I've been doing, which is, it's through Fleece Fitness, but it's a CrossFit type class is what I'm taking basically as far as the training.
Okay.
And it has definitely helped me take it to the next level.
Okay, so when you decided, okay, I'm gonna go for this world record. Okay, so how did planning that happen? Like, how did you go? Okay, it's one thing to say you're gonna do it, and then some people go, because you run your own business also.
Right.
So you have your own business, which is called, it's a carpet place.
Floors for You.
Floors for You. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's in Brownsburg, Indiana. By the way, this goes everywhere. By the way, it's not just a reboot podcast. This goes everywhere. I mean, I'm like number 10 in Poland.
That's awesome.
I don't know why, but the Polish love me. I don't know why. Watch me go over to Warsaw and they go, we don't know you, man. But this goes everywhere. So in Brownsburg, Indiana, if you guys want some carpet, she'll ship it to you, right? For all my Polish fans, and if you want some carpet, you look her up, Floors for You, and she will ship you some carpet from a Guinness Book of World Record holder. That's Olympic style carpeting right there.
I could even sign it if I need to.
I don't think anybody wants to sign carpeting. That's nobody wants to sign carpeting. That's a sign of dirty carpet. If somebody signs your carpet. Okay, so anyway, so how did you get say, okay, I'm gonna set this world record, and how did you start putting the pieces in place?
So one of my biggest obstacles I had to overcome is the fuel capacity. So I only have 65 gallons of fuel factory on my boat, and to surf longer, and that's only lasts just a little under 5 hours. Mm-hmm. So to go longer, I had to figure that out. So I ended up working with my boat dealership, which was in 3 Boat Works out of Indianapolis. And they helped me select a 50-gallon bladder with a separate pump and everything. So it had a whole nother system that we could refuel while I was surfing, because the biggest thing on the record is I can't stop. So I can't stop to refuel. I can't fall down. I can't, there was a lot of restrictions with Guinness, for how to pull it off.
Right.
So that was probably one of the hardest things I had to figure out. And we also, for extra, threw on a couple gas cans. We threw 4 gas cans on.
Is that legal?
Yes.
Oh, glad to know. Well,
that's a solid question.
Well, no, it's beside the fact you already did it now. I mean, so it's not like they can arrest you for it. It's not like you kill somebody, where at statute of limitations, there's no statute of limitations for murder. You know what I mean? I'm just asking, you had some extra cans of fuel on the boat. I just think about those movies, with they have things of fuel on the boat and they blow up like a Jason Statham movie.
No one was smoking.
Well, I would hope. You get the wrong person on the boat and there goes the record because somebody was smoking.
Went down in flames.
Yeah. The boat and the record went down in flames. Yeah. Okay. So you had extra fuel cans on the boat and everything. So you were ready for that. And so how about, did you ever think like maybe a rogue wave or maybe somebody else is on the lake? Like, they can't block off a lake for you.
They didn't. It was open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's an open lake, and what if you had some of those, yahoos out there? Like, it's summertime now. I mean, honestly, what if you've seen people on the lake that aren't supposed to be on the lake? You go, why does that person have a boat? And they come in and screw you up, and maybe they have a wake.
Right.
Or something. Like, were you worried about that?
I trained through everything. I actually on purpose trained through 2 thunderstorms, like with, high winds, heavy rain, downpour. So I trained with the worst water conditions. Like, even when it would get busy, I would just keep surfing, like just to
Good for you.
Just to make sure there was nothing that was going to stop it.
That is perfect, because that's what you got to do. I mean, it reminds me of Michael Phelps. He was getting ready for the Olympics. His coach sometimes would take his goggles and fill them with water, or to make it every condition possible. That so when the actual race happened, nothing could throw him off his game.
Right.
Okay, so now how did you physically train for that? How did you physically train? Like, what did you do?
So I was going to the gym 9 times a week.
9 times a week?
Right.
9. It's only 7 days in a week.
I already know. And I was surfing 3 days a week.
Okay.
So between all of that, I had quite a bit of help from my trainers as far as just even the food. I had to adjust, I had to start eating more food, and just because I was burning so many calories.
Okay, so how was your diet before, and how was your diet once you started training?
Once I started training, we counted all the macros, and I definitely started eating a lot more protein than what I had ever eaten before. Now,
how was your diet before? Were you like just anything at all? Like, you didn't really care? Did you kind of watch it, but not really, but kind of?
I've always counted calories, but I've never kept track of my protein like what I did. So the protein was the biggest thing I was lacking. And once I got that squared away, I started putting on quite a bit more muscle. Like, it just really helped me.
Okay. And like what kind of protein?
Mostly chicken.
Okay.
I've eaten so much chicken lately.
You gonna start a chicken farm now?
I'm telling you.
You've had everything else. You gonna start a chicken farm? Yeah, you've had elk. You've had bull. Might as well start a chicken farm.
I mean, no.
Think about it. Lori's free-range world record-holding chickens. You can have the biggest chickens in the world. They helped you achieve the record. You know, you can lie about it and say, world record chickens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Free-range chicken, but they got all muscles and everything. You know?
We'll see. We'll look into that.
So you're sick of chicken. So your diet consists of chicken and what else?
Chicken, rice, vegetables. I will eat some fruit. Before I would do a long surf, I was able to eat a lot of pasta. So the protein pasta noodles.
Oh, yes.
And those were pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, just
And what was a long surf? What was a long surf?
every week I would build up, and I was adding an extra hour as we got closer to my surf set. So
Wow.
as I was doing that, I was starting to eat more carbs and stuff, just because I was burning so much, for surfing.
Okay. Now, did you work a lot of lower body for your
I
legs?
did.
I mean, people don't understand. 8 hours, and that was the question that was posed to me on Facebook. And the person said, "How did you do that for 8 hours?" I mean, just stand. I mean, because the stance. I mean, was foot placement important, and how you stood, or did you put more weight on the ball of your foot or on the heel? Because wouldn't that all make a difference?
I had to keep moving my feet around to keep circulation, basically. So I definitely had to surf and move. It's similar to doing a squat, basically, the whole time, because you can't lock your knees out. So the whole time I'm squatted while I'm surfing.
Oh my God! So, like, any cramps or anything?
No, I did take some magnesium, salt,
I take magnesium all the time also.
A couple of those. I never had cramps, but I didn't want any.
Yeah.
So I took a couple of those while I was surfing. I spread them out. And I even packed my own food even. So I packed a wrap with me, and I had 3 liters on one of those camelbacks on my back.
I saw that.
And I put ice in this pack and everything, so my lunch meat wouldn't get too hot, because it was going to be hot that day. I packed all my normal food. I had a couple apples I'd sliced up, and
How about bananas for potassium?
I didn't do any bananas.
Oh man, that would be.
I should've.
Yeah, that's for cramping.
Right.
I'm a former wrestler, man. You don't want to be like this, and all of a sudden I can't do it. You okay, Lori? No. You should have had a banana. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, not really. No, it wouldn't have been if you had been like this and
Right.
you missed it because
I
of
meant the banana.
No, yeah.
I should have packed a banana.
I
But
would have made a smoothie for you. I don't know. I'm a smoothie king.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
That's good to know.
ask my roommate. She
Yeah.
knows. I make the best smoothies around. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I use coconut water, and I freeze my fruits, and then I put in like what do you call it stuff? Turmeric, ginger for the stomach. Ginger,
Yeah.
some other kind of stuff I put in it. Honestly, I make the best smoothies around. I would have made you a great smoothie, and you'd have been ready to tackle it. And also watermelon. Watermelon's good for it's water. Basically, the watermelon.
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's good for you. And I always put bananas in there also for the potassium. Because I long distance cycle. Because I always see your Instagram, and I always say, "You want to ride?" You know what I mean? I pass your house all the time.
Now I might be able to keep up.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if I can keep up with you 8 hours, but I pass your house all the time.
That's awesome.
I do. I go, "Hey, that's the girl that let me ride a motorcycle," and I pass by. I really do. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So let's get back to you. So all that now, this is a weird question, but how did you keep from going to the bathroom?
So I didn't. I mean, when I had to pee, I had to pee standing up on my surfboard.
I didn't hear all that. I would say you should have said, well, I found a way. You didn't have to get all graphic. We got a kid here with Wyatt. Wyatt's like 19. I don't want him to hear all that. Wyatt, go to bed.
So I had to get past that. That was something I did not want to do, but I knew that to stay hydrated, I was going to have to go to the bathroom.
You had to pee on yourself.
Yeah, I had to.
Did you tell them, like, "Hey, guys, want to turn away"?
No.
You didn't? They just watch you pee on yourself
just watch
as a
me.
grown person. They had to watch you pee on yourself. Oh, man. That's if you had any potential suitors, that would turn me off. Like, yeah, that's my woman, right? Oh, boy. Maybe not.
Maybe not the most attractive thing,
You-
but it had to happen.
So did you do it standing up, or did you squat, or just regular?
Regular. I just had to stand up. I just had to. So I would carve a little extra to like splash water on me to make it maybe not as weird, but yeah, it was still weird. That's one of the worst parts.
Did you practice for that? I mean, honestly, did you practice for
no,
it?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
You practiced peeing while standing up? Because
Yeah.
you don't want, I guess you don't want any surprises, I guess.
I just wanted to be comfortable with it while I'm surfing. And I knew that was something I was going to have to be able to do because anyways, I had to stay hydrated and not cramp.
Now, honestly, but was that hard to train to get to do that though? I mean, honestly, was it hard to train? Like, I'm gonna have to pee
I know.
in front of people. I mean, but it sounds like I'm being joking, but honestly, was that a hard mental hurdle to get over?
The first time, yes. The first time I hated it. But then I was like, who cares? I mean, I'm breaking a Guinness World Record, and this is just part of it. The Guinness judge told me marathon runners do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, okay, well, this is better because at least I have water.
True,
Like,
you can jump in the water.
At least, and I can carve, and the water's spraying me, and, and stuff like that. So that's better than just
Yeah.
peeing and on the blacktop or something,
You smell like you're homeless while you're, yeah, they're like,
Right.
oh my God, you want $1? No, I'm setting a world record. Sure you are, lady. Listen, here's $1.
Right.
Go clean up. Make something out of yourself.
Right?
But that's good though. I mean, honestly, that people don't realize that something like that would get me also. Because I
Right.
thought about that. It's just last night I was trying to come up with questions. I was like, nobody's asking, but I want to know, how did you do
Right,
that?
right.
Race car drivers do it, so I mean, you had to do it. But here's what I want to know: people don't understand the bubble gum. You had bubble gum on your board.
I did.
If you guys, please watch her Instagram. It's not Nautic.
Nautique girl.
Nautique Girl on Instagram at Nautique Girl, and you got to watch the whole time, 8 hours, as a piece of bubble gum. Was it bubble yum?
Bubble yum.
It was bubble, and I remember a kid having bubble yum and all that sugar.
right.
I mean, as soon as the first chew you go, and you feel like, and wasn't it the greatest?
All that sugar.
All that sugar when you were a kid. Now it's like, oh God, you know what I mean? Like, I can't feel circulation. I'm gonna cut my foot off. But back then, when you were a kid, you didn't know any better. So it was a piece of bubble yum bubble gum got stuck on her surfboard, and it set the world record too. So how did that come about? How did you get a piece of bubble gum on your surfboard and it stayed there?
So I put in a really large piece of gum in my mouth, and I'm chewing it, and I thought, well, I'll blow a bubble. So I started pushing on it with my tongue, and it shot right out of my mouth. It wasn't all the way chewed up, so it was like a glob.
Yeah.
And it just landed on my surfboard. Well, according to the Guinness judge, I can't touch my surfboard, so I couldn't. Normally, if I was surfing, I'd just reach down there and pick it up, but I couldn't. So it stayed there the whole entire time. I was hitting it with water, like carving as I was carving, and it didn't fall off. It stayed there to the very end.
It makes you wonder those 7 years they say it takes for bubble gum to dissolve. I think that's true. I mean,
probably is.
it ain't no problem to it. If a piece of bubble gum that wasn't really chewed up, landed on your surfboard for 8 hours and it stayed there, imagine what it does to your insides.
I know.
Imagine, remember like you swallow your gum? Because we grew up in a time where if we were kids and teachers taught you a bubble gum, I don't know about you,
Yeah,
but we had to
yeah.
swallow,
Oh, yeah.
and you swallow it. And now what they said was probably true. Our insides are
probably
probably
is.
all messed up because it's all bubble gum in here.
Right.
It's all bubble gum. So I got about probably another 2 years before I'm cleaned out. It's all bubble gum in here.
Right.
That's incredible. If you guys got to watch the videotape, because she posted all day. It was great because I was watching you all day. I was keeping up with you
Yeah,
all day.
great.
Between babysitting and taking shots to the growing, I was following you, and I was like, Lori's doing it. And so did you set out? Was your goal initially 8 hours? I mean, I know you wanted to break it, and you pretty much had it like, I can break it, but was it 8 hours?
So my goal was to surf all the fuel I had. And because I threw in the gas cans at the end, the extra 4 gas cans, I actually could have surfed about 9.5 hours. So I had every intention of surfing all of that. I did not realize that there was a restriction until the morning of with Guinness. Like, as far as I didn't realize she was going to cut me off at 8 hours.
Wow.
So,
She was a party pooper.
well, I just didn't realize I was going to surf so long. So if I thought I had more leeway with her. So I didn't realize that 8 hours it had to stop at 8. So next time it'll be different.
Do you plan on being there next time?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And what's the goal then? Like 10?
I think I'm going to double it. Is going to be my goal, but I have to work out the fuel. The fuel's the biggest
That's
thing that I can't control.
to me. That's incredible. Is of all the things you can't is the fuel. It's not the physical part, right?
No, it's not the physical part.
It's the fuel.
Right.
Now, was there ever a mental or physical part for you that you were kind of like worried about going into it? Like what made you had trepidations about going into it physically? Was it like, I hope I don't cramp, or was it the rogue wave, or was it like some yahoos coming over? Like I said, coming in
Right.
and
No, all of that was a factor. Like,
but what was the number one though that made you kind of go?
I was worried about cramping, just because you can't stay in the one position too long.
Yeah.
So I was trying to work out a system to where I carved every so often and moved more on with a purpose, to try to just keep my blood flow, basically. Just because standing in one position is a lot for 8 hours.
Yes. I can't do it, honestly. I mean, just being regular, I can't do that.
Right.
I'm always leaning up against something, trying to be cool, but I'm cramping. So I got to lean up, you know what I mean? So for you to do that, I think that is, honestly, I think that's incredible. It's inspirational. And the thing about the inspiration is you did that. You were sponsored by Warriors for...
Wake for Warriors.
Wake for Warriors. And what is that, by the way? Tell us what that is.
So they're a nonprofit organization that helps take veterans out and their families and teaches them to do water sports. So they take all types of veterans, but the ones that I'm most intrigued by that they do are ones they'll teach someone with a prosthetic leg to surf, or someone that's had to have amputation, so they maybe have no legs,
right,
and able to still do water sports. And that is it's unbelievable what they do, and how they help the veterans and stuff.
What made you, what I guess intrigued you to have them or do it for them?
So I have 3 nephews that are active Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been a big fan of our veterans, and their sacrifice, none of my nephews have actually been to deployed and done any type of war, or anything like that since they've been in duty. But even if they don't get deployed, they just make so many sacrifices, even from not being able to be home for holidays, or when you're signed up for the time that you're in the military, you sacrifice by giving up what you want to do, basically. For those years, the military basically dictates when you get to come home and stuff, and so they just miss out on a lot of stuff while they're in, and so I just wanted to do something to give back.
Well, that's great then. I found that to be the most intriguing part, because I looked them up and I saw the guy with the amputated leg, and is that what it inspired you more? Yes. I mean, more.
Yes.
Did you ever think about when you were doing it? Did you ever think about maybe like, okay, this is enough, and then use that for your inspiration?
Oh yeah, I thought about all of them, and just everything that the fundraising. I couldn't have picked a better people to support the Wake for Warriors, what they're doing with our military, and just giving them something to to look forward to, and something to be a part of, and it's just really incredible what they've been able to do with our veterans and stuff. I love what they're doing so much that next month I'm going to actually go and get certified to be able to train them myself.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
On the water?
On the water.
Oh my God. So are you going to like give up your floors for your business and start being honestly, just hang out with your boat on the lake?
Well, no, I won't be able to quit my day job, but
well, why not? I mean, honestly, this sounds like this is a passion, and it's not like growing up with the stalls where you were forced into that love.
Right,
it was like being a mail order bride. You kind of forced to listen. You be nice to him, Natasha. He's going to show you a good life in America. Whereas you had no choice. Where now, I don't know if carpet's your love, but now you're dealing with. I mean, I could just tell, but this is your love. You love being on there. It showed in your face.
Right.
It showed in your training. It never was like a drag. Right. So maybe you should.
I'm definitely working with my local boat dealership, N3 Boatworks, and we're planning on hosting events for our local veterans, so for the state of Indiana.
Okay.
Which I'm really excited to be a part of.
I'm excited for you. No, I mean, from the bottom mark, like I said, I can tell it's your passion now. I mean, was it that way when you first started doing it? When you first got on a wakeboard, you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, immediately. As soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to have it.
And why is that?
It was meant to be. I mean, I can't really describe it. So the first time I pulled up on a surfboard, I threw in the rope and I surfed the whole distance of the lake. I have never seen anyone ever do that. I've taught hundreds of people to surf, and
Right.
I've never seen one person do it like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just natural for me. So as soon as I stood up on it, everything about it felt right.
Like your first time, or you're like, oh, this is what I
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I can relate as far as like I feel the same way with motorcycles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That first time you get on one, you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
You know, now does it scare you a little bit? Because sometimes for things to have that effect on you, they have to scare you a little bit. Because if they scare you a little bit, you're going to be more focused.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, because something has to make you have to be a little bit uncomfortable in something that you do for you to remain focused at all times. I mean, I don't know your business, but the carpet business, I can imagine there's some stuff you could do by rote, even though dimensions are always different. You're like, okay, this carpet's good for here, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to that, it's like, okay, I gotta be at all times kind of aware of where I'm at. You gotta be
Right.
focused. And the same way with motorcycling, you know what I mean? At all times, man, you gotta be ready because you don't know what's gonna happen. So a car is gonna pull out in front of you or a deer or whatever. So you gotta be, it's fun, but it's like, head on a swivel. You know what I mean?
No, that's exactly how it had to be. Especially for my Guinness World Record, like the whole time I was thinking, I just had to be on top of it. I couldn't, I just had to be prepared for if a wave came or anything. I mean, there was just, so when we first launched the boat, when we pulled into the boat ramp at 5:30 in the morning, it was raining.
I remember that. I remember seeing the forecast, and I remember Chelsea telling me, I was like, oh, man.
It was like 85% chance of storms all day.
Yes, I remember that.
And my crew asked me, they said, well, what are we going to do, Lori, if it starts storming? And I said, we're breaking this Guinness World Record today. I don't care what the weather is. Like, if you don't want to go, you don't have to, but I'm surfing through storms. It don't matter what happens. Like, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah. Wow.
And they all stayed with me.
That is great. I mean, you had a crew on that boat.
I did.
Yeah, the Guinness book lady, she had her shoes off. I saw that. She had her shoes off, put her
did.
dirty ass feet on your boat. Did you? I saw her feet. I was like, man, really? You gonna put your dirty ass feet on an expensive ass boat? You should have got mad at her. You should have been like, hey, lady, you wanna put some booties on that feet?
I kind of needed her.
Well, yeah, I know you kind of need it, but you should have said, "Hey, you wanna clean them feet up?" Watch her be watching this, like, really? She takes your world record away because I'm talking shit about her. But I saw the picture. I go, she gotta get
Right.
So you didn't say nothing to her?
No, not at all. One other thing I had to do for the crew on my boat is I set a 5-gallon bucket in the front with a toilet seat.
Oh.
Because I told everybody on the boat, we're not stopping for anything. So whatever has to be done in the front of the boat.
Yeah, I think I would have done was just give them all smoothies that day, and then waited for Nature Take its course later. You know what I mean? Because smoothie you can you pee it out, but if you give them a meal, you know what I mean, like a McDonald's meal, like I think that breakfast sandwich is like no, Lori's got to break this record. You know what I mean? So
Well, I made it real clear. We're not stopping for anything.
well, they knew what they were getting themselves
Yeah.
into. Now, and this is kind of personal here, but like, how much did it cost to break the world record? I mean, for like I said, to fill the boat up to, and what are the training? I guess you get the training. So how much did that run you?
So the boat manufacturer, which is Nautique, is covering all of my fuel,
Nice.
which is a big part of it.
Oh yes, yeah. Because I mean, so just roundabout, how much did it cost for fuel to fill it up?
Gas prices just keep going up.
I know.
But I would say probably $300.
Oh my God! Really? Mm-hmm. $300.
Counting everything, the gas cans, the fuel bladder, and the tank. Yeah.
Wow, and they fit the bill. They fit
Yeah.
the bill. How great would it be to get some gas, Wyatt? And I was sitting, oh, by the way, put it on their bill. You ain't got to pay shit. How great would that be? Did you get any money from breaking the world record?
No,
You just get the recognition.
just the recognition.
So you go in the book.
Right.
Have you thought about doing it on salt water, like in the ocean? I think that'd be a different kind of. I mean, or can you even do that like that?
Well, there's just not a wave that lasts that long that I know of.
Hey, if anybody can find out, you can.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I would.
Right.
That's another challenge for you. I mean, you've done this. You've done it.
Right.
So even if you go and you double it, which don't get me wrong, it'd be great.
Right.
But An ocean, and I think it's a different challenge, but if anybody can tackle a challenge, it's you. Because I know you. You're a strong-hearted. When they say independent woman, honestly, this is the total definition of an independent woman right here. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You run your own business. You're a tough woman. You're a fair woman, and you have your fun, but you get it done.
I do.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you definitely get it done. So why don't you go saltwater? Go in the ocean and do it.
Right now, I'm going to stick behind my boat for just a little while longer. So I already also broke the longest as far as distance. So I surfed technically 89.6 miles. So I did 10 and a half laps around Raccoon Lake.
Let's go for 100.
Well, I'm definitely going to once I get this time and everything. But it would have required a second Guinness judge for that also.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've got to work out some things. But the next time I do it, I plan on breaking more than one record at a time.
Look at you all big time. Look at you. I think that's great. But I want you to step out of that comfort zone. Go in the ocean. You know how much badasser you will be? I'm making this word up. You know how much badasser you would be? You go into the ocean where there's sharks and a whale. Remember that whale just ate that dude? You read about that?
I did.
A whale ate a dude, spit him out. He's still alive, right? So if you do that, oh my gosh, you've got to do it. On the ocean. I say go to the Pacific Ocean and do it.
I have ocean surfed.
I don't
before,
doubt it.
But I've never tried to do distance. And everything that I've done ocean surfing does not have like a lot of time. So you don't, when I've stood up, it's not very long that you get to surf and it's over.
Well, anybody can do it. I think personally you should go down to off the coast of California, honestly, and go from San Diego to San Francisco. That's about 5 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah. In
a boat. Yeah. It's over like 300, 400, 500 miles or whatever. I say you should do it. Do that. Yeah. I think you can do it. Yeah. I want to see you. I want to see you go ocean, Pacific Ocean, find out when the currents are. And go for it. How bad? Seriously, if you did ocean, you did lake and ocean, you'd be untouchable.
Right.
You're already untouchable now. Right. What else would there be for you?
Right.
Nothing. And then I say go to Antarctica and have them do it. With the cold water,
right.
No one's done that in Antarctica. Who would? Who would think that? But you could do it.
I started training in 45-degree water.
That's nothing for you.
Right.
You could do that. And if you pee there, who gives a damn? And the penguin's like, that's what we do, man. Go ahead and pee in the water.
It freezes on my leg.
Yeah, well, that's nasty, Lori. That's really nasty. I'll do the jokes here. That's nasty. I don't want to see you on a board. Like, what is that? Oh, my God.
I had to pee.
My God. I just found what you did was incredible. From the bottom of my heart. And when I heard you were going for a world record, I just like people who achieve goals. And they go for them without and I could tell with you, there was nothing that was going to stand in your way.
Right.
And the hardest obstacle it was funny how you say it wasn't the physical. It was just the gas.
Yeah.
It was finding a way to get the gas, which I found to me was hilarious. Because for me, it would be like, seriously, it would be the cramping. It would be like hit a wave the wrong way and you tumble over and like, right. Oh man, that day's ruined. Or it's raining. But for you, it's funny how you eliminated I got this part. It's the boat.
It's the boat.
It's the boat.
I just got to get the gas figured out to get longer.
Wow. And it was all because of the growing up, the hard country girl.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean that.
It's definitely paid off.
Yeah, I could tell. Like I said, you're a successful woman, successful businesswoman. You've broken a world record, and you're going to attempt another one with next summer, maybe?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. And when are you going to start training for it?
I'm already back at the gym training. I only took 1 day off.
Really?
From my gym, yeah.
Wow. And what gym is it? So I want to go there and watch you train.
Fleece Fitness.
And where's it
at? Pittsburgh, Indiana.
Okay, I won't be going there, but okay. Right. Yeah, man, I'm not going to Pittsburgh, no. I went to Pittsburgh once. It's funny. It's a true story. I was bicycling through Pittsburgh.
One stoplight.
Trust me, I know. Trust me. I think I scared these ladies. I came right behind them on a bicycle, and I go, hey, how do I get to Danville? I was lost. And they were like, and they pointed this way, and they got me lost. And I literally did like a 12-mile loop and came right back. I go, I think they did it on purpose. I remember that. I remember going through Pittsburgh, and I remember there was the Trump sign, right? And I go, oh, man. And I was joking to myself. I go, I better get out of here. And as soon as I said that, this dog comes out of nowhere and chased me. I go, wow. And I guess that dog heard me.
Oh, man.
Seriously. I guess it was a Republican dog. He just came and chased me. You get out of our town. And he came and chased me. Now it's a true story. I was going to Pittsburgh. That's my Pittsburgh story. I thought that was hilarious because I was joking to myself. And that dog came and chased me. mean,
I hate getting chased by dogs.
I know, especially on bicycles.
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
worst because if you try to kick it, then they'll get it, and then it could be bad luck.
Real bad.
Yeah, but I'm like the black Lance Armstrong, so they can't catch me.
Oh, I kick it in high gear when they
Not like me,
start
Lori.
chasing me.
Not like me, Lori. Not like me. I mean, what you do on the water is what I do on the tarmac. I don't want to brag, but it's what I do.
I get you.
That's what I
get you.
Lori Keeton, it has been a pleasure. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing your story. You know, I didn't some stuff I didn't know about you, which I thought was great. You know, opening up like that with the farm and everything else, and just how that strong mental you have, like nothing for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
And you never thought once, like, I mean, what was you going through your head at the time? I mean, like, say at the 4 or 5 hour mark after you broke it, because sometimes, and this is what happens sometimes when you set a goal, is that once they achieve that goal, it's kind of hard to stay motivated. That's why sometimes, like, you'll see a fighter or any kind of sport, they achieve that goal. Hey, we won a championship, and that person is never really the same afterwards because that goal's been, and they don't set another goal, and they just kind of flounder. So when you find out you set the world record, what made you go, okay, I'm going to go for it longer? Because you could have easily, okay, I'm done.
To be honest, when I broke the women's record and they announced it, I didn't even celebrate. Like, I was just still staying focused, and I'm like, okay, we're not stopping, you know, so just stay in your game. Then they announced I broke the men's record time, and I didn't celebrate, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, we're not stopping here. Like, we're going to crush this. I planned on surfing the full 8, and I wasn't going to settle for less than that.
Wow.
I was just going to surf all of it. And I was just focused on making it happen. So I ended up tripling the women's record and more than doubling the men's record.
My God. That's incredible. Honestly, that's incredible. Good for you.
Thank you.
I mean, because like I said, some people, when they set that goal and they achieve it, and you don't have another goal to set, they kind of flounder. And you said, nah, nothing's going to stop me.
No.
And nothing did.
No, I wasn't going to stop. I told them no matter what, it don't matter if it'd be lightning bolts falling from the sky. I said, I'm not stopping. Like, we're just going to keep on surfing because that's what I'm supposed to do today.
Have you heard from anybody like that say, I'm going to break your record, or maybe the people who held the record previously, have they hit you up and say, congratulations, but now I got to break it?
I've not had anybody that said they're anywhere near my time. But there are people that are talking about doing it, which I'm excited for. Like, I love competition.
Competition's the greatest.
Yeah, just bring it.
How is it? You know, you love competition, but you never did a sport. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, I competed with horses.
Yeah, that's true.
So I did, and there was a whole circuit, and there was a whole. I mean, it was a whole different from sports, like school sports.
Right.
But it was a sport.
Wow, man, honestly, that's great. I love what you did. I love that you're a world. Has it even set in? Has it set in? Has it sunk in?
Not totally.
When do you think it will? When do you think it will?
I don't know.
World. I almost felt bad hitting you up and trying to get you on this show immediately after. I go, she's got to be tired. I go, hey, congratulations. Hey, you want to be on the show?
Right.
You know what I mean? I go, oh, man, she's got to be tired. She probably want to go to sleep or be able to pee in privacy. You know what I mean?
Right. It's so nice having a bathroom door.
Yeah. I know. You don't want that to be.
It's the little things.
Yeah. I know. It becomes a habit for you.
Right.
You just walk out. Oh, God, I forgot. You know?
Right.
Lori, what are you doing?
Right.
Oh, Lori Keeton, thank you so much. And the project, it was
Wake for Warriors.
Wake for Warriors. So look them up and look for her Instagram, which is Nautique.
Nautique.girl.
Nautique.girl on Instagram. Lori Keeton from Litzo, Indiana, world record for the longest surf ever. Guys, give her a hand, guys. Come on. World record holder. World record holder. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. World record holder right here on Tales from a Gemini. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. And thank you, Lori, for coming in. You're not only your friend, but you're a world record holder. So
thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So until next week, you know how I say about this time. Peace.